Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Sarah and Paul Conversation. So lovely to have you with us again.
Hello, everyone. Today's topic is one of my absolute favorites, and I mean that quite literally.
Ha. Yes, I think this might be the most personally motivated episode we've ever done.
Paul has been talking about lunch since 8 o'clock this morning.
In my defense, it was a very long morning. But yes, today we are talking about food in English, because it's one of those topics that comes up constantly in everyday life, and yet a lot of learners tell us they feel lost when it does.
Exactly. And I think the reason is that food language is incredibly rich. There is so much vocabulary, not just the names of dishes, but words for describing taste, texture, the way food is cooked, the way it looks. It can feel a bit overwhelming.
But the good news is that you don't need all of it at once. You just need a solid foundation, some key words and phrases that you can use in real situations. And that's exactly what we're going to give you today.
So let's start with the basics. Taste. How do we describe the taste of food in English? What are the main categories?
Well, the big ones are sweet, salty, sour, bitter, and spicy. These are your 5 fundamental tastes. Sweet like chocolate or honey, salty like crisps or olives, sour like lemon or yogurt, bitter like dark coffee or dark chocolate, and spicy like chili or curry.
And then there's a 6th one that's become very popular in recent years, umami. It's a Japanese word that's been adopted into English. It describes that deep, rich, savory taste you get from things like mushrooms, aged cheese, soy sauce, or a really good tomato sauce.
Umami is such a satisfying word to say, and it's actually very useful because before it entered the language, people would just say something tastes rich or savory, which is less precise.
Savory is another really important word. It means the opposite of sweet. It's that deep, pleasant, non-sweet flavor. So if someone asks you, do you prefer sweet or savory? They're asking whether you'd rather have something like a biscuit or something like cheese on toast.
And what about texture? Because sometimes the taste of food is wonderful, but the texture is just as important to how we experience it.
Oh, absolutely. Texture vocabulary is something learners often overlook. So the key ones are crispy or crunchy, like toast, fried chicken, or a good bag of crisps. Tender, which means soft and easy to cut, usually for meat. Creamy, smooth, and rich, like a good risotto or a soup. Chewy, which requires a bit of effort to eat, like some bread or caramel. And fluffy, light, and airy, like a good pancake or a well-made omelet.
I love all of those. And another one I'd add is hearty. It's not exactly texture, but it describes food that's very filling and substantial. A hearty stew, a hearty breakfast, it makes you feel properly full and satisfied.
Hearty is such a warm word. It almost sounds cozy, doesn't it? A hearty meal on a cold evening. Just the image makes you feel better.
Ha. Exactly. And going back to taste for a moment, there are some more nuanced words that are really worth knowing. Tangy, for example, it means a sharp, slightly sour, bright flavor, like a good vinaigrette or a lemon tart, something with a little kick to it.
Rich is another one. Rich food is very intense in flavor, often quite heavy. A rich chocolate cake, a rich beef stew. It's delicious, but you usually can't eat too much of it.
And bland. Bland is the opposite of rich. It means the food has very little flavor. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Some people prefer mild, subtle food, but it's often used as gentle criticism. The soup was a little bland. It needed more salt.
Right. And if you want to say food is bad more directly, you can say it's tasteless, which is quite strong, or a bit flat, which is softer. Or simply, it didn't really do anything for me.
That's a very British way to express disappointment. Very polite. It didn't really do anything for me.
Ha! Very British indeed. Now, let's talk about restaurants, because ordering food in English is a real-life skill that learners need, and it can feel nerve-wracking if you're not sure of the language.
So, Sarah, walk us through a typical restaurant experience. What do you say?
Okay, so you arrive at the restaurant. The waiter or the host will probably say something like, "Do you have a reservation?" Or, "How many are you?" Or, "Can I help you?" And you might say, "Yes, I have a reservation under the name Smith." Or, "We're a table of 2, please." Or simply, "Is there a table available?"
And then you sit down and look at the menu. And if you're not ready to order yet, you can say, "Could we have a few more minutes, please?" Or, "We're still looking, thank you." That's all you need. People sometimes freeze and go silent, but those simple phrases are perfectly natural.
And when you are ready to order, what's the structure?
You usually order your starter first if there is one, then your main course. You can say, "I'd like the soup to start and then the grilled salmon for my main." Or, "Could I have the pasta, please?" Or, "I'll go for the steak." That last one is very natural and casual. "I'll go for." It's a great phrase.
"I'll go for" is brilliant. It's friendly and relaxed. And if you have questions about the menu, which is completely normal, you can ask, "What does this come with?" Meaning, what side dishes or sauces are included? Or, "Is this dish very spicy?" Or, "Does this contain nuts?" Very important if you have an allergy.
And for allergies, you'd say, "I'm allergic to shellfish," or "I can't eat dairy," or "I'm vegetarian. Is this dish suitable for me?" Restaurants are used to these questions and they appreciate you asking.
Absolutely. Better to ask than to end up with the wrong thing. And at the end of the meal, you might want to compliment the food. Which brings us to another lovely set of phrases.
Oh yes, this is where food language gets really expressive. You can say, "That was absolutely delicious," or "It was amazing," compliments to the chef, or more casually, "That was really good. It hit the spot."
It hit the spot. That's a great one. It means the food was exactly what you needed at exactly the right time. Usually said with real satisfaction.
And on the other end, if you want to leave politely without loving the food, you might say, "It was fine, thank you," or "It was okay," or the classic British, "It was quite nice," actually, which, depending on the tone, could mean anything from genuinely nice to barely acceptable.
Ha! The ambiguity of quite. So important to understand in British English.
Now let's talk about something that often confuses learners: British and American food vocabulary, because the same food can have completely different names depending on which variety of English you're using.
Yes, this is a brilliant point. So in British English, we say crisps for the thin, fried potato snacks you eat out of a bag. In American English, those are chips. But in British English, chips means the thick fried potato pieces you eat hot, like with fish and chips. And in American English, those are called fries or French fries.
So if you ask for chips in the UK, you get something very different from what you'd get in the US. A very important distinction for any traveller.
Extremely important. And there are several more. In the UK, an aubergine. In the US, an eggplant. In the UK, a courgette. In the US, a zucchini. In the UK, a biscuit is a hard, dry, baked good, like a digestive or a shortbread. In the US, a biscuit is more like a soft, fluffy bread roll. and what Americans call a cookie. British people call a biscuit too.
The biscuit confusion is real. I have had this exact conversation many times with American colleagues.
And pudding. In British English, pudding often just means dessert, the sweet course at the end of a meal. What's for pudding means what's for dessert? But in other contexts, pudding is also a specific dish, like Christmas pudding or bread and butter pudding. It does double duty.
It does a lot of work, that word. Okay, so now let's talk about food preferences, because in conversation, people often ask, what kind of food do you like? What's your favorite cuisine? Are you a picky eater? And it's good to have natural, fluent answers ready.
Absolutely. So for preferences, you can say, I'm really into Japanese food at the moment. I'm a big fan of Italian. I love anything spicy. I have a real sweet tooth, which means you love sweet things.
I have a sweet tooth is such a lovely expression, and the opposite would be, I'm not really into sweet things, or I prefer savory. You can also say, I'm not a big fan of seafood, or fish isn't really my thing. These are all very natural ways to express preferences without being rude.
And if someone asks whether you're a picky eater, meaning, are you very selective about when you eat? Do you have lots of things you don't like? You could say, I'm not particularly fussy, or I'll try most things, or honestly, I'm quite picky. I have a few things I can't stand, and that's fine too. People appreciate honesty.
And food has become such a rich topic of general conversation in English-speaking cultures. Asking someone where they've eaten recently, what they've been cooking, whether they follow a particular diet. It's all very natural small talk. We mentioned food briefly in our small talk episode, and it deserves its own deeper look.
It really does. And one final area I want to cover is cooking vocabulary, because a lot of people are talking about what they cook at home, especially now. So the key verbs: to boil, cooking in water; to fry, cooking in oil; to grill, cooking under direct heat; to roast, cooking in the oven with dry heat, usually for meat or vegetables; to steam, cooking with steam from boiling water, which is considered very healthy; and to bake, cooking in the oven, usually for bread, cakes, or pastries.
And some great adjectives for how meat is cooked specifically. Rare, cooked very briefly, still red inside. Medium rare, slightly more cooked, pink in the middle. Medium, mostly cooked through. A little pink, well done. Cooked completely through, no pink at all. If you order a steak in an English-speaking restaurant, you will almost certainly be asked, how would you like it cooked?
And now you know exactly what to say. So let's do a quick recap. Taste words: sweet, salty, sour, bitter, spicy, savory, umami, tangy, rich, bland. Texture words: crispy, crunchy, tender, creamy, chewy, fluffy, hearty. Restaurant phrases: I'll go for, could I have? What does this come with? It hit the spot. British versus American. Crisps versus chips. Aubergine versus eggplant. Pudding as dessert. Preference expressions: I have a sweet tooth, I'm not fussy, I'm really into. Cooking verbs: boil, fry, grill, roast, steam, bake.
Perfect. And the most important thing, use this vocabulary in real life. Next time you're eating something delicious, try to describe it in English, even just in your head. Is it crispy? Is it tangy? Is it rich and hearty? The more you practice thinking about food in English, the more naturally these words will come when you actually need them.
Food really is such a wonderful way into the language. It's personal, it's cultural, it's universal, and everyone has something to say about it.
Exactly. You are never at a loss for words when the topic is food, which is perhaps why we both enjoyed making this episode so much.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. We hope this episode leaves you feeling hungry, both for good food and for more English. If you enjoyed it, please leave a comment below. We'd love to know. What is your favorite dish, and can you describe it using some of the words we learned today? Tell us. Is it crispy, creamy, tangy, hearty? We want to know.
And if this episode helped you, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a friend who's learning English. Every share means so much to us and helps us reach more learners around the world.
Remember, you are not bad at English. You are just getting better every single day.
Bye for now.
Bye.